JP Morgan's annual healthcare conference kicking off in San Francisco today, the largest gathering of biotech and pharma execs, investors, and analysts in the United States. Insmed, among the companies on today's presentation docket, shares have soared over 150% in the past year, with the rare disease drug maker reporting preliminary 2025 revenues of more than $606 million, ahead of analyst estimates. Joining us for more is Insmed CEO Will Lewis. Will, great to see you again.
Great to be here.
And you're actually about to present, I believe, shortly. So you're joining us in advance of your presentation at JP Morgan. The stock is really, rocking today because of your new milestone goals. Can you talk to us a little bit about ARIKAYCE sales, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, because you did raise that milestone. What is behind that better than expected sort of milestone goal that you have laid out today?
So we have actually two drugs on the market now. One is ARIKAYCE, which is for the treatment of refractory non-tuberculous mycobacterial lung disease. That's one lung disease. And the other is a drug called BRINSUPRI, which targets non-cystic fibrosis bronchiectasis. It's the latter drug that has really gathered all the attention, because at the end of last week, we put out preliminary fourth quarter numbers, which showed that in that one quarter, we had addressed more than 9,000 patients, which results in a revenue generation of $144.6 million. To put that into context, that's more than Dupixent did in its fourth quarter in its first year of launch. So this is the beginning of a very strong launch for BRINSUPRI, and it was matched by the performance of ARIKAYCE, which exceeded our raised guidance in 2025.
Interesting about both of these drugs with such strong launches that there are other indications for which you're currently in studies to investigate. So, for instance, BRINSUPRI for HS, which is a skin disease, and ARIKAYCE as well for, I believe, another lung disease. Can you talk us through where you are there and whether or not, we will see any sort of applications to the FDA based on these other two indications?
Sure. So the ARIKAYCE trial that's up and running right now, called the ENCORE trial, will read out either March or April of this year. And if we are able to show success in that trial, it will take the total addressable market for ARIKAYCE from 30,000 patients to north of 200,000 patients. We've already guided this year that ARIKAYCE will do between $450 and $470 million of revenue. So that would obviously be very substantial expansion of that drug and its opportunity to help those patients. And to be clear, just like refractory MAC lung disease, this expanded or frontline indication, there's nothing approved to treat either of those. That's matched by BRINSUPRI, which is being very successful in its initial launch in bronchiectasis, but which is also going to be targeting the disease you refer, hidradenitis suppurativa, or more simply put, HS. This skin disease, we will have phase 2 data for that will read out in the second quarter of this year. So some near-term milestones ahead, and those are coming on the heels of very successful commercial performance.
Well, congratulations, obviously. Were you surprised? Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure you weren't surprised. I was surprised by the growth, not only of overall, but international sales were a staggering number. I mean, is that opportunity as robust as it appears through these numbers?
It is, particularly in Japan, where the team has done just an exceptional job. That performance was better than expected, even as they raised their guidance throughout the year. And the exciting thing about that is it's still early in the launch in Japan. We're now in our 8th year of launch in the U.S., but Japan is just a couple of years in, and so we're very excited about what they may be able to contribute in 2026 and beyond, not just for ARIKAYCE, but also for BRINSUPRI, which we expect will have approval in Japan in the second half of the year and launch shortly thereafter.
Now, of course, Will, the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference is where a lot of deals get done on the sidelines. There are a lot of partnerships being discussed, inked, et cetera. You've got a lot of drugs that are already launched, but will have bigger addressable markets potentially if all the studies go well. Do you have enough money on the balance sheet right now, which I believe is just under $2 billion or so, to see these drugs through a bigger launch, through bigger commercialization?
We do, and I would say we have the opportunity to do even more, not just within our own collection or pipeline, as people like to refer to it, but also opportunistically through business development. And in the fourth quarter, we announced the acquisition of what we now call INS1148, which is a monoclonal antibody targeting a very specific stem cell factor 248. We're going to be introducing that to pursue indications of moderate to severe asthma and also interstitial lung disease, which are both very substantial market opportunities for which there's a clear unmet medical need. So beyond our internal pipeline, we're adding externally. And I think, as we like to say, this is just the beginning at Insmed, because we have an awful lot going on the commercial front an awful lot to come on the clinical front, and we're still looking for more.